Hi viewers, another episode of Guest with Nazir. Today we have a special guest who is working in a very important subject which is advice on the benefits and immigration advice, a manager and activist and very hard-working individual, Mohammed Asif. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Asif, tell our viewers about your early days and your education.
Well, when I came to England, I took admission and did my master degree in public administration. Then I had sort of interest to study law, so I did law as well.
So, how you see the university education here, and because you have spent your early days in Pakistan, so how you see the difference of the education system here?
Education system, when you're comparing British education system with Pakistani, is very, very different. Here you're more independent. Here you have more scope to make further progress, and also you will get opportunity to develop yourself in practical life as well.
And at what stage you joined this advice work?
I moved from London to Sheffield. Then I started to work on voluntary basis in one of the advice surveys. Then I made my way up as a manager. So almost is 13 years by now.
So, how you see that you have to face difficulties, or it was very easy phase to go through all this progress?
There is always difficulty, challenges, barriers, but with commitment, hard work, improving skills and doing training courses, I managed to remove all of them. Then now working as a successful manager and running a community center, and we cater the service for people from different ethnic backgrounds and providing languages up to 11 languages. The service provision is there.
So, what is the name of your advice center and what services you provide?
It is Tinsley Advice Service, welfare benefits, consumer rights, immigration, representation in tribunals, and also home visits to lone parents and vulnerable groups. That kind of stuff we are doing.
So, when you say lone parents and all these family visits at the people's house, so it is for everybody or it is only for the disabled people?
It is it depends on the situation. And if somebody is domestic violence subject or person with disability or lone parent with kind of commitments, then obviously it's quite difficult for them to visit us. Then we provide this service to them. But we do encourage people to come to our advice service because we have got more resources there to meet their requirements.
You have mentioned here domestic violence. So it's a very, very sensitive subject. So how you help the victim of domestic violence?
I mean, so far, I will say over 250 domestic violence subjects we have dealt with. And when they're coming, obviously, they are desperate for help. Their immigration status has not been sorted out. There's a language difficulty. They have no idea what sort of benefits they can access. And if they're married with the children, life is more difficult for them. Now, finding out a proper, safe environment for them where they can go and live with the children, and also sorting out the benefits to finance themselves, to buy food, baby food, and also then sorting out the immigration status so they don't become illegal, and helping them to become a respectable citizen in this country.
So as if there is a situation, sometime it happens that people who are on very early stage of immigration status, their indefinite leave to remain has not been sorted out. And if they are victim of domestic violence, on the other hand, they can't claim any benefits. So what are the ways for these people? And sometimes people have children also.
But again, there are so many charity organizations, and once if you are not having the legal status in this country, as you said, the immigration status has not been sorted out. So other charity organizations, they do help. And some help you can get from Home Office department as well. But again, you got to work for this. And it is quite difficult. It is difficult out of immigration rules, helping those people, sorting out their benefits, and they're not having a national insurance number, relatives not helping them, they don't have any friends. Then above them, when they're having language difficulty, so all this gets into very, very complicated situation. But we are there to help and been very successful in this
So
sort
how
of.
many languages your staff can speak?
Well, I'm very lucky that we have got a bilingual staff. They can speak up to 11 languages, including European languages, African languages, Pakistani, Urdu, Mirpuri, those languages as well, Arabic as well. So 11 languages. Now, the question is this, why we need, our focus is on 11 languages, because when, as I earlier on said, when people are coming, what sort of benefits they can access, how they can approach to them, where to go for further help. So because of language difficulty, they can't travel around the city. To make them aware about the benefits, it's always good to communicate in their own language. So getting out more information from them, it is a very good way to communicate.
So when we talk about a lot of difficult situations, especially in advice sector, because government is cutting a lot of money for the advice center and citizen advice bureau. So what are the main supporters of this advice sector work? So you getting grants or it is paid by the government? How it works?
Local Sheffield City Council, they do pay quite a good grant. Then our funding bodies, they're always looking fundings elsewhere. So wherever appropriate funding we can apply, we are doing it. So there is a group whose their focus is to secure the funding for the future all the time for the advice bureaus and CAB.
In South Yorkshire, we have received some information that a lot of citizen advice bureau and advice centers have been closed down because of lack of funding. So if other cities ask for help, will your center be able to help them, to provide them some advice on the phone, or to make some visit in libraries or anywhere?
We, from other cities, we do receive phone calls and emails because we are OIC, Office of Immigration Service Commissioner, exempted advice workers in immigration. So when they are looking for the immigration advice, obviously when they go on website, our names and our institute's name comes, so they do approach us. Then obviously we do help them, but again we encourage them to go to their own local citizens advice bureau. This is the best way to do so. But however, over the phone we do help them as much we can. The other question is funding problem. So many advice services, advice bureaus, they're under threat, they have been closing down. Similarly, when in Sheffield, there were a lot of advice services and citizens advice bureaus, and each of them was facing funding issues. So it was local council's idea to get them merged. Now it is a citizens advice bureau whole merged now. So all the funding comes in one pot. So they are paying the salaries and overheads and the bills and the training, whatever the money is, I mean fees, whatever they are paying it.
Because it was in media, that's why I've asked this question in Barnsley and especially in Doncaster, the Citizen Advice Bureau service is there, but it's not available for every year because they are cities and a lot of population is there. So in terms of help for the people, especially who wants to apply for the benefits, so which kind of benefits mostly you're dealing in your institution or in your advice service?
Well, there is quite a wide variety of benefits. People with disability, as I said, lone parents, people, unemployed people, old people. So each of them individually or combinedly like a family unit, they can access to many benefits like income support is there, job seeker allowance is there. Now personal independent payment, which used to be disability living allowance, DLA, incapacity benefit, now that has also been changed into personal independent payment, as I said. Universal credit is coming as well. Then other grants and community grants, those are available. But again, there is a criteria to access these benefits. But at the end, the government is trying to save a lot of money in the benefit system because absolutely the funding is going to be reduced. And now Job Center Plus, where people can access to DWP or Job Center Plus, so they also making sure people are actually seeking for the jobs. They are actually going for the training. They are actually improving the English. So all those barriers and excuses, they want to be removed so people can access the mainstream for the job, so unemployment figure can come down.
So, in terms of job center work and your work, because in a way you're working all together, do you get any support from them also?
Yeah, we do work Job Center Plus and other organizations very closely, because at the end we are there to help community, and we are working in the best interest of the communities. So whenever we approach Job Center Plus, if there any problem, they are more than happy to help. And when we need their help, they are also there to help us.
So, when somebody's benefit has been stopped or refused, so obviously they have a right of appeal or review. So, in term of help, so how you provide your services to those people whose rights, whose benefit have been stopped or refused?
There are so many reasons that why benefit has been stopped. Maybe there are change of circumstances which they did not notify the DWP or Job Center Plus, or maybe some sort of abusing the system as well. So maybe that is that causes,
That may be a reason.
that could be the reason. And also, like now, as I said, Job Center Plus, they are very much interested to people to go into jobs, and every 2 weeks when they go to sign on, they have to show them progression. They are looking for the jobs, they have done their CV, they have done some sort of interviews, and they are looking for the potential employers. So they have to keep a record, and if the advisor is not happy and satisfied, then they can put sanction. Now sanction is actually their benefits could be stopped for a week or 6 weeks or 12 weeks. So everybody who's receiving the benefits, so they have to be very, very careful. They must fulfill the requirement of the advisors and take some sort of progression what they are actually doing in actually seeking for the jobs.
You're working in community advice service sector. How you see the government, previous government and this government, the way the cuts have been taken place, especially about the legal aid, how it's affecting a common man? Because you're working very close to the communities.
It is amazing that working right on the grassroots with the people, facing them every day, what sort of issues they're bringing, and when there are severe, complicated issues come, and when they have to approach to solicitors, or the issues are going to court, and there's no legal aid provision, then obviously there is no income, there is no saving, there are major hurdles to get the justice. So I'll say it is unfair. It is quite unfair that people who don't have money, they can't access to justice.
So what are your suggestions to the government, that what government can do for a common man for the access of justice in this country?
I mean, for common man, the government can do a lot. I mean, if you see each city of each council or city of England, every year council tax is increased, for example. Other ways to generate money, where the traffic cameras and these fines. So these are whatever the money they're generating. If they spend for a common person, then again on merit they can look into how wisely this money can be invested to make some people's life comfortable. It needs very thorough kind of study.
Do you provide any kind of assistance to the law students who are interested to advice work, and they can come and join you as a volunteer?
Yeah. Once some freshly graduated law students, they love to work on voluntary basis with us, because it gives them opportunity, one, to work under pressure. How under pressure? For example, somebody with different languages, a sort of person who can't speak English, and having difficulty to receive the benefits, and also giving priority to the work. So it is quite under pressure work when somebody is coming and they can't speak English. So the graduates find it quite useful, because when actually they move into practical life, we have received so many letters. The initial training, working on a voluntary basis and advice service, has made them able to cope with the pressure, prioritizing the work, and also very much understanding of the barriers. Like I'm keep saying the language, but it is a major barrier, and language or disability and other issues.
Asif, how you see that in coming days, what challenges are faced by people who are on benefits, and what new, the suggestion from the government and how they will affect the people?
Well, already it is in the pipeline. It is going to affect everybody's life quite dramatically, and like as I'm saying, child benefit will be affected, and the working tax credit, child tax credit, housing benefit, then extra bedroom tax, then personal independent payment. These all benefits are going to be affected in the future. So one has to plan from now on what sort of things they have to do in future. Because now, like a previous year, it is quite very easy, because if somebody is receiving benefit, they were for a lifetime even they were entitled. But now there are limits. Like they are getting medical checkup, they have to produce medical reports, they have to visit GP and hospital to satisfy actually that yes, we are disabled and we are under treatment. But these sort of things are getting more and more and difficult. Then child benefit, which was very common, this is going to be also going to be effective in future, as I said, other benefits along with.
In the last election, a lot of debate was happening about the immigrants. So if somebody is immigrant, is from EU or from non-EU, what kind of benefits they can claim in this country?
Well, first of all, we should keep this thing in our mind that EU migrants, they are coming here, they're not coming here to claim benefits. Actually, they are coming here to work, and I have witnessed that the EU people, they are very honest and very, very hardworking, and they are making quite a major contribution in our national insurance contribution and income tax.
The reason we ask this question,
okay,
because it is a lot of in print media, it has happened.
Yeah, the reason why
there was a lot of debate
okay,
about it.
Those people who have got, those people, I must say, who have got some negative picture about the EU nationals, I think they should work in advice services, and they can see. They can see these people coming from Europe. Yeah, initially everybody do face the problems, hurdles, but once those hurdles are removed and they are living very comfortable, very successful life here, establishing their businesses, working in almost in good fields on good posts as well.
So now we're going for a lighter subject. We have some personal questions from you. Your favorite food?
My favorite food is very, very simple food.
And
Anything
your
simple.
favorite place to visit?
London.
And your hobbies?
My hobby is reading books and playing squash.
So who is your favorite player?
My Jahangir Khan, obviously.
And have you ever met him?
Well, I did meet him and also played squash with him in Peshawar. And a friend of mine, he was also a good friend of him. He's died now, Mr. Khan. And Jahangir Khan was a very good friend of him. And he used to live in Slough with him. And he also visited Sheffield, our home, Jahangir Khan.
So, in terms of message for our viewers, what is your message who are watching our show today?
Well, first of all, if you're watching this show, thank you very much for watching this show. The message is this: please do look around right and left. Where are you living? If anybody needs any help, please do help them. Due to sanctions, people's benefits have been stopped, and they are really, literally, the people are suffering from hunger. And therefore, me and my friends, we have also have got a little charity organized recently. It is called the Global United Trust Sheffield, and we do help people who have got sanctions and cannot afford food and baby food. So if you look around, if you can help somebody, and it will give you good pleasure.
So how you see the role of food banks, especially in the present economic situation in this country?
Food banks are doing quite important job. As I said, when people have got sanctions, they don't have money, they don't have saving, they can't buy the food, then we issue them vouchers and they go to food banks and they receive the food. And that food is quite ample for next 4 or 5 days. Then again, more food banks needed to be established, more foods need to be established. So looking at this need, we also have established our own food bank privately.
Thank you. Viewers, if you have any questions, you can send me your question on my email address. My email is shown on our screen. And I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Goodbye from me, Asif. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you.